Hello student, today we are going to discuss about Bohr's theory. It is for class 12 in atomic physics. So we are going to discuss under Bohr's theory what is the postulates of Bohr's theory and velocity for the nth orbit, radius of nth orbit, energy for the nth orbit, and wavelength is how the hydrogen spectrum series wavelength is produced, how we can find the wavelength. These are the concepts we are going to discuss. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The first thing, postulates. Bohr's postulates, which is a very important question for the CBSE exam. Bohr's postulates, there are three postulates. The first postulates, okay, it is a nucleus, and when the electron is revolving around the nucleus, it is accelerating. When the object is moving in a circular path, it is getting accelerated, okay. In electromagnetic spectrum, already we learned accelerated particle will produce the electromagnetic spectrum. Except this position, when the electron is moving in a own orbit, it is not going to emit the radiation. In case it is emitting the radiation, finally the electron is going to come into the nucleus, it is going to become as unstable. The atom will be stable, okay. So because of it, so this position, it's not going to emit the electromagnetic radiation. When the electron is accelerating in a own orbit, it's not going to emit the electromagnetic radiation, okay. In case when the electron is jumping from one orbit to another orbit, now it's going to produce the electromagnetic spectrum, okay. So the first Bohr's postulate, when the electron is moving in a own orbit, is not going to emit the electromagnetic radiation. The second one, angular momentum is equal to n h divided by 2 pi. Already we know 2 pi is angle rotation, angle, n is the number of orbit, h is the Planck constant, angular momentum. When the electron is moving in a circular orbit, so we have given angular momentum is equal to n h divided by 2 pi. Angular momentum is equal to linear momentum times of radius. Linear momentum is the mass into velocity. So m v r is equal to n h divided by 2 pi. So this is called second postulates of the Bohr's theory. Next one, third postulates. So third postulates, when the electron is jumping from one orbit to another orbit. So first orbit to, it is nucleus, it is a first orbit, and it is a second orbit. When the electron is jumping from one orbit to second orbit, one orbit to another orbit, it will be emit the radiation. So when the radiation is emitting, that time we will get the frequency. So E2 minus E1 is equal to H frequency. They are given frequency also. E2 minus E1 divided by H. H is the Planck constant. Okay. This what we will get. So this 3 is the Bohr's postulates. Using of this concept only, I am going to find what is the velocity of the nth orbit, what is the radius of nth orbit, what is the total energy for the nth orbit, and also wavelength. When the electron is jumping from second to third, third to fourth, we are going to find what is the wavelength. These are the equation we are going to derive. First I am going to do with the radius of nth orbit. Okay. So I am taken the nucleus, the electron is revolving in a orbit. Okay. Nucleus, n number of proton will be there. So Z times of E, X, Z A, mass number, atomic number, mass number. Okay. So Z times of proton. So Z times of proton, charge of proton is a electron only. Inside will be ZE. The electron value will be E. Okay. The electrostatic force between these two, it's going to be, the force is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1. Here Q1 is the electron, Q2 is the proton. Z times of proton divided by radius of the orbit. So n square. So radius of the orbit, R will take it, okay. So electrostatic force F is equal to K times of Q1, Q2 divided by R square. The same equation only, but here Q1 is the electron, Q2 is the proton. N number of proton, Z times of a proton, okay. So E square, okay. So here the electron moving in a circular orbit. So it is a centripetal force is equal to electrostatic force. Centripetal force is equal to mv square by R. So it is a radius of the particular orbit, okay. So I got two equation, equation 1, equation 2. Just I am equaling equation 1 and 2. So mv square divided by R is equal to Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. R get cancel. Mv square is equal to Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught times of R. This I am taken as a equation number 3. This I am taken as a equation number 3. Okay. So next thing I am taken as a second postulate. Second postulate, Bohr's postulates, MVR, angular momentum, is equal to NH divided by 2 pi. Second postulates I got. Okay. So from here I am going to find it what is the V. Okay. From here I am going to find what is the V. Then I am going to substitute in the third equation. Just I will do it here. See, now I am finding what is V. So V is equal to NH divided by M or 2 pi. Okay. So I did as a cross multiplication. This I am taken as a equation number 4. You can ask me one question. Now we got velocity. When you are doing the velocity, we have radius. Okay. So when this kind of equation is there, we don't know radius, we don't know velocity. Okay. Both we don't know. Okay. So when you want to find velocity equation, that time you are not going to give us the radius with the relation. Okay. So when you are giving radius relation, that particular equation no need to be there for the velocity. Okay. Again I will repeat, velocity equation we have to remove the radius. Okay. So reason, both unknown term in a single equation, it's it's not going to be used in anywhere. Okay. So all known term means it will be very easy to use it. Okay. So I am going to change the radius, I am going to substitute the radius value. Okay. So in a single equation I will get only in a velocity or radius. Okay. Both unknown term in a single equation, the equation it's useless only. Okay. So see here, velocity I am substituting in a third equation. That means fourth equation in third equation, substituting in third equation. Already I said why we are doing this. Okay. So V square. Okay. V square I know, N square, H square, M square, R square, 2 square, pi square, because it is a V. Okay. Is equal to ZE square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R. It is a equation number 3. Just I substituted 4 in 3. That's it. Okay. So now what I am doing, just I am doing, I want as a radius. Okay. So radius square get cancelled. Only one radius will be there. That I am bringing this side. Okay. So this I am bringing as a denominator. This I am doing as a numerator. Okay. Just a cross multiplication. So this side will be radius. Okay. Just I am doing as a cross multiplication. M N square, H square. H is a constant. M is a mass of the electron, and N is the number of orbit. H is a Planck constant. 4 pi is a constant value. Epsilon naught is a electric field constant. Okay, 4 pi epsilon naught I brought here, divided by M square. R only I brought that side. It is 2 square will be 4 pi square. Like this I will get. Okay. Now I got what is the R. So M get cancelled, 4 get cancelled, pi get cancelled. Okay. See here what I will get finally. So I am going to get final equation as it is R is equal to N square, H square, epsilon naught divided by M pi. Okay. So Z also, Z E square will come in a denominator, Z E square. So Z E square. Okay, this what I will get as a radius. Okay. Now N is the orbit number. This is the radius of nth orbit. This is the radius of nth orbit. Now we got radius of the nth orbit. Okay. So N is the orbit number. So Rn, N is the orbit number. I don't know what it is. H is a 6.63 into 10 power minus 34. It is a Planck constant value, which one is going to give in a question. Okay. Question paper itself they will be given this H value. Epsilon naught value 8.85 into 10 power minus 12. Okay. Mass of the electron 9.1 into 10 power minus it's 19. Sorry, minus 31 mass of the electron. Pi value 3.14. Z will be this for hydrogen spectrum series only. Z value will be 1. The charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. This full calculation we are going to get as a very simple value. It is 0.53 n square into 10 power minus 10 meter. Okay. So Rn, energy for the nth orbit, is directly proportional to n square. It's 0.53 times of angstrom. It is called angstrom unit. Okay. So 10 into 10 power minus 10 meter is going to be 1 angstrom unit. Okay. So see here, radius is directly proportional to n square. The first orbit 1, second orbit it is 2 square, third orbit will be 3 square. Okay, so the radius ratio will be 1:4:9 it is 16:25, like that will go. Okay, if you want first orbit radius, so we can find it. It is 1 square times of 0.1 square times of 0.53 angstrom unit. If you want second orbit, 2 square times of 0.53 angstrom unit. If you want third orbit, 3 square into 0.53 angstrom unit. It is R1, it is R2 and it is R3. So now we found what is the radius of the orbit, each orbit. Okay, Rn is equal to n square times of 0.53 a. It is a common equation which we can take it. Otherwise, you can use this equation also, radius of the nth orbit. Okay, the next one I am going to do it. What is the velocity of the nth orbit? Okay, if you like my channel, please subscribe. So velocity of the nth orbit. So Vn is going to be the question mark. Okay, when you are writing velocity in nth orbit, in that particular equation, radius it's not going to be there, because two unknown term in a single equation, it's not going to be used in anywhere. Okay, so when you are writing the velocity, that is the time radius is not going to be there in that particular equation. Okay, so that's what I am going to do it here. Okay, so right now I am going to find the velocity of the nth orbit. MVR, it's a Bohr's postulates, NH divided by 2 pi. Okay, so I know V is equal to, from here cross multiplication, NH divided by MR 2 pi. Already I know R value. See here, already we derived R value. Just I will show what is the radius value. Okay, so here we have n square, h square, epsilon naught, m pi z e square. We know already radius. Just I am going to substitute here. See here, V is equal to n h divided by m pi. R value, I don't know what is R value. Already we know it is 2 pi. Okay, R value already we found, radius of the nth orbit. See here, radius of the nth orbit, just I am going to substitute in this particular place. Okay, n square, h square, epsilon naught divided by m pi z e square. Just a substitution only. Okay, m get cancelled, pi get cancelled. Denominator directly will come into the numerator. So V is equal to n times of h, okay, z e square divided by, see here, 2 will be there. Yeah, it is n square, h square, epsilon naught. Okay, now I am going to cancel with n square, h square. So V is equal to z e square divided by 2 n h epsilon naught. So velocity of the nth orbit also we found. Okay, so velocity of the nth orbit equation I have. So now ratio, it is the velocity of the nth orbit is inversely proportional to the n. Okay, so for first orbit 1/1, second orbit 1/2, third orbit 1/3. Just it is 1/1, 1/2, 1/3 ratio only velocity will be there. Okay, now velocity for the first orbit. Okay, velocity for the first orbit. So I know Z is 1, E is the charge of electron. Okay, and n is the first orbit, h is the Planck constant, epsilon naught is the electric field constant. When you are substituting all the value, I will get 2.19 into 10 power 6. It is a velocity meter per second. It is the velocity of the first orbit divided by, it is 1. Okay, for second orbit, it is 2.19 into 10 power 6 divided by 2. For third orbit, 3, fourth orbit, 4, like that. The velocity of the nth orbit, 2.19 into 10 power 6 divided by n. Right now I got velocity of the nth orbit also. Okay, next thing, total energy. Total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. So U is the potential energy symbol, K is the kinetic energy symbol. First I will do kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is equal to half m v square. Okay, we need to find what is mv square. So mv square by r is equal to equation 1. First I wrote this one, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught z e square, z e into e divided by r square. R get cancelled. So mv square is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught z e square divided by r. So this what we have of mv square value. Okay, just I am going to substitute as the what is mv square. Kinetic energy is equal to half times of mv square value. Now I got 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught z e square divided by r. okay, whether it is small r or capital R, it is a radius of the orbit only, okay, orbital radius, 1 divided by 8 pi epsilon naught z e square divided by r. So this is called kinetic energy. Now potential energy, electrostatic potential energy minus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Why here minus? No, electron is representing as a negative, okay. Why only for energy I am taken as a negative? Because it's a scalar quantity, okay. Z E into charge of second charge will be electron, it is divided by r. Just I'll write here potential energy formula. It is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r. This is called electrostatic potential energy formula, okay. Electrostatic potential energy is this much. Now I am going to find what is the total energy, okay. Total energy is equal to kinetic energy 1 divided by 8 pi epsilon naught z e square divided by r. Potential energy minus z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Okay, just I am adding this to equation. If you want to balance this equation numerator to denominator 2, then only denominator will be equal for both the place, okay. So now denominator will be same 8 pi epsilon naught r, okay. It is one time, it is two times, x minus 2x minus times of x minus 2x is equal to x minus x, answer will be minus x minus 2 times of z e square, sorry, z e square. It's called total energy, okay. Yeah, now we got this equation. Energy we are finding, the unknown term or radius is there in that particular equation. Just I am going to substitute here radius, I will get what is the final equation, okay. Already we found radius is equal to, radius of nth orbit is equal to n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. Already we have the radius value, just I am going to substitute in a above equation, that's it, we are going to do it, okay. Energy is equal to minus z e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught, radius is going to be n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. From denominator I am taken this as a numerator, okay. Pi get cancel. So E is equal to minus z square e power 4, because square 4 times, okay. 8 epsilon naught n square h square epsilon naught square will get, okay. So now z square e power 4, m also is there, it is m is the mass of the electron, okay. So m also will come in a numerator, okay. So like this I got what is the energy for the nth orbit, okay. So energy for the nth orbit inversely proportional to the n, okay, whatever everything is a constant value divided by n square, okay. The ratio will be 1 divided by 1 square, 1 divided by 2 square, 1 divided by 3 square, like that will go for the energy for the nth orbit. This whole calculation I will get energy for the nth orbit is minus 13.6 eV electron volt divided by n square. 1 eV is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules, okay. This what we will get as a simple value. So energy for the first orbit minus 13.6 eV divided by 1 square. Second orbit minus 13.6 eV divided by 2 square. Like that will go for the energy for nth orbit. Energy for nth orbit is equal to minus 13.6 eV divided by n square. So I got energy for the nth orbit, okay. Next, the final one, what is the wavelength when the electron is jumping from one orbit to another orbit, okay. So I am taken third postulates of the Bose theory, E2 minus E1 is equal to H frequency, okay. So see here, this equation only I am taken, okay. So frequency is equal to E2 minus E1 divided by H, okay. I know this is if you are substituting this as a N1, it is going to be E1, this you are substituting as a N2, that is going to be the E2, okay. So same equation only, so minus z square e power 4 m divided by 8 epsilon naught square h square 1 divided by n2 square because of E2 minus 1 divided by n1 square, all common term I am taken outside into h, okay. H cube will get, okay. Planck constant cube times, because all common term I am taken outside, remaining terms will be inside, minus when you are taken inside, this going to be changed like this. Just I am writing here z z square e power 4 m divided by 8 epsilon naught square h cube 1 divided by n1 square minus 1 divided by n2 square is equal to frequency. Now I got what is the frequency of the changing electron. When the electron is jumping one orbit to another orbit, what is the frequency? Using of this equation you can easily find what is the frequency. Okay, so C is equal to wavelength into frequency. I want what is the wavelength. So 1 by wavelength is equal to frequency divided by C. So just a multiplication of division of C is going to give us the 1 by wavelength. This equation I am going to just divide with C, that's it. 8 epsilon naught square h cube into C, because I want wavelength. 1 divided by n1 square minus 1 divided by n2 square. So I got what is the wavelength. 1 divided by wavelength is equal to this whole thing I am taken as a Ribot constant, 1 divided by n1 square minus 1 divided by n2 square. R value is a very simple value, 1.00, which is going to be given in the question paper or in a constant value you can get. Okay, this no need to memorize. Okay, this for wavelength. Okay, today we learned what is the energy for nth orbit, velocity for nth orbit, radius for nth orbit, and what is the wavelength is going to produce when the electron is jumping from one orbit to another orbit, and also postulates for the it is Bohr's theory. These are the concepts we discussed. Okay, if you like my channel, please subscribe. It is for class 12 atomic physics. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you everyone.